Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. It's Monday. I'm waiting for my share button to come up. Hold up. Hold up. It's a chopper. Wait a minute. Hold up. Okay. So I'm doing an impromptu live stream this morning real quick because I saw a great post yesterday in one of the mediumship groups that I belong to here on Facebook. There are some great practice groups here, by the way. So if you are an up-and-coming medium, if it's something you're interested in, check it out. There are a ton of reading groups, a ton of practice groups, and I highly recommend. So the question was, how do I know when I'm ready to charge for readings? When do I start charging? And so there were a whole bunch of different answers on that. And I would say that everybody has their own opinion, right? So this is purely my opinion. Other people have their own opinions. So you go with what feels best for you and what feels right for you. Because ultimately, if you don't feel right, it's not going to feel right. It's not going to serve you if you're doing something that doesn't feel right. So the answer to that question is, though, when do I start charging for readings? The answer is when you're ready, when you want to. There's no hard and fast rule as to when do I start charging for things? When is it okay? How many practice sessions do I need to do? How many classes do I need to take? When it comes to doing readings, like psychic readings, pendulum, cards, mediumship, it really depends on your confidence level and like really how your intuitive sense of when you're ready. If you're trying to think of all the different criteria, when will I be ready? Or if you're asking the outside, so what does it mean for me to be ready? You're probably going to find every excuse to not be ready because of course you're going to feel nervous. Everybody does. I did when I did my first paid reading. My advice to people who are doing readings is practice, 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 practice. And I do this with my private clients and my group programs. And even in my free group, like practice, practice, practice. That's the way you're going to build your confidence. Remember that spirit doesn't steer you wrong, ever. So whatever you're doing for a reading, you will deliver the message that needs to be heard. Sometimes it needs to be heard by your client. Sometimes it needs to be heard by you too. So whatever is meant to come out of the reading always will. So you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, am I going to not connect? Am I going to get the wrong answer? Like there's none of that. So anything that stops you from doing a paid reading is really your own beliefs or some self-doubt. So that's it, because there are no rules. You don't have to take a certain amount of classes. Absolutely, if you want to take courses or get certified, do it, rock on. Do you need to? No, you have the gift. You have it. You've always had it. You can't get rid of it. And when you're ready to use it, it's there for you. Like the old paradigm of you need this certification, this degree, that degree. You need to have this much training with this level master and do this, this, and that. Kind of that paradigm is leaving. That's kind of like the old school way. You need how many master's degrees, you need this, you need that, you need so many hours of training, you need so many practice sessions, you need this and that. Those were models created by schools or created by companies that wanted to make money and have you take their program and stay in it for a certain amount of time and pay money. So they made up these requirements. Are they true and real? No. Do I recommend people practice like a mofo? Yes, I do. So you can do free readings until you feel like I still do free readings. I mean, I did a lot of free readings in the beginning because that's how I practiced with myself, with other people that I knew. I came here on Facebook Live and I still do, to do free readings. And you can always incorporate free readings into what you do. But when you feel energetically ready to start charging, no one has to give you approval. You can just start doing it. And that, just allow yourself to be ready and feel ready, and you don't have to prepare. There are no rules. You don't have to get a blessing from the Dalai Lama or a blessing from, the Long Island medium or any other professional psychic. You don't have to do that. You can do it when you are ready to do it. And in my opinion, you're ready anytime. And people go, what? Like, that's like putting like false confidence in people, Jen. I'm like, no, it's not, because it's true. You have the power all along. Just like Glinda the Good Witch said in The Wizard of Oz, my dear, you had the power all along. It's just when you're ready to use it, when you're ready to declare it, when you're ready to share it. And how you get to that point of confidence is up to you, but there's no one right way. So know that you absolutely can charge when you're ready, and that you absolutely can do this, and spirit will not steer you wrong in your paid reading, even if you're nervous, because your ego will find every reason for you not to be ready if you really try to think it over, or if you look on the outside for validation or approval. You'll always find a reason not to. And that's a shame, because you're being called to use your gifts, and you're being called to use them now if you're being pulled to do paid readings. And it's okay. And sometimes in our spiritual selves, we feel really bad charging money. That's another thing. Check your money beliefs too, because we feel like, oh, and people will say this to you too. The doubters, the haters will say, well, if it's a real gift and it's like truly a gift from God, or you're doing this spiritual service, you should not be charging for it. It should be free. And that's not true either. Okay. I think that giving free value is fucking incredible. I do it. I still do it. And I highly recommend it. I do also think, though, that compensation for professional services is a real thing too. And if that's the way you are called to earn money and make a living, then damn it, yes, like go ahead. You can absolutely make a living and charge money. It's okay. So if you feel weird doing that, just work on your money beliefs. Those can get in the way too. Okay, but it's all a story that someone made up, that people in a spiritual business cannot charge money, or that it's bad or mean or selfish or cruel to do that. It's not. Okay, it's not. Just like any other business, we are the same. And in fact, what we do requires a lot of our personal energy, which matters. You know, it has value. So it's okay to do that. So that's my advice for you today, that you're ready when you're ready. And if you find yourself holding yourself back, then you might want to look into a mentor, a coach, or a support group or something like that. Or you just have to take the leap. It's like when you're going skiing and you're like afraid to go down the hill, and you just kind of got to either push yourself down, or like if you're learning to swim, eventually you have to dive in the pool. It's the same thing with paid readings. You need to take that leap of faith and trust that Spirit's always going to be there for you, unwaveringly, unconditionally, always. And what needs to be said in the reading will be said. And we're afraid to make mistakes in our culture because we're often beat up. You know, you see, especially on social media, you see people getting torched and flamed all the time for their mistakes, right? You know, or taken down. It's like, that's just, unfortunately, that's like, you know, kind of a darker side of our culture. But the truth is, there are no mistakes. You are where you are on your journey. And Spirit's always supporting you in that and guiding you in the direction of your higher self. Sometimes the lessons are painful. Sometimes they're, but it's okay. It's all part of it. The same thing for doing readings. If your intention comes from the heart and it comes from the light, you're going to be guided by the light. All good. All good. So feel free to do that. So you're ready. All right. Any questions? Drop them in the comments. Just ask me. I'm here for you. I will tell you the same thing that I tell my clients or people in my groups. And yeah. Oh, someone said, hi, Brittany, said, don't people realize that you can tap into the earth's energy and use that energy during readings to sustain yourself and keep yours from depleting? They don't. Some people do and some don't. And that's absolutely true. I think sometimes what they don't realize is when you're giving free readings endlessly, because some people will use overgiving as an excuse to avoid receiving because they have a problem with receiving or money issues, money beliefs. So they'll overgive and then deplete, because what happens, it's giving readings is an exchange, and you can do it for free, you know, up until the point where you feel like that exchange feels good. There's a point where it doesn't feel good anymore and you feel a bit drained. And that is a point when you know you have to reevaluate your business model and what you're doing. And you need to just decide, what is that even exchange for me between free readings and paid readings? So that's something, but anytime you can access the earth's energy, anytime you can access the universal energy and replenish your energy. Nobody has to tell you that you're drained. That's kind of an empath trap. They think they have to be drained all the time, or they have to get the energy sucked out of them. And that's just not true. That's a whole other live stream topic. It's not true. You have the power to recharge like that. But that takes time to get there. Believe me, it takes time to get there. Brittany says, I had to learn to do that when I first started doing readings. I learned to tap into the earth. I love doing free, but also I charge. I'm with you. I'm the same way. I love doing free, but I also charge. But there was a time in the beginning when I did a lot of free. I would be on Facebook Live sometimes for 4 hours doing free readings. And it was really fun. And I loved helping people and I loved connecting. But after a while, I was really, really drained. It was just that because the giving and receiving is a universal flow of energy. And eventually, if you go out of balance, it's going to be painful, whether you're over giving or over receiving. So it did start to bite me a little bit. And I found myself not looking forward. It's like I could recharge my energy, but I wasn't looking forward to it as much anymore. Like the fun was out of it a little bit. And when that happens, I don't want the fun to be out of my business ever. I don't want the fun to be out of giving readings or healing sessions ever because I'm so passionate about it, you know? Like, so when I know it's not fun anymore and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this, then I'm like, okay, self-care, or where's the giving receiving ratio out of balance for me? And that's okay. Brittany says, I love using selenite crystals for energy as well. They can help sustain. Beautiful. Crystals are awesome. Crystals are fabulous. And look, you can Google what crystals would work for whatever you're dealing with. There's so many out there to choose from. Hi, everybody. Yep, everything you were saying I went through. Yeah, it's part of the journey. It's interesting, isn't it? But it's so worth it. If you are called to be a light worker, it's really worth it. Or a reader, or whatever you want to call yourself, a spiritual entrepreneur. It's really worth it. We need you right now. We need your gifts. You know, and also too, sometimes what stops people from paying or charging is because they compare themselves to others. And that's why I tell my clients, don't think about it too much or get into that thought space, because then you start to look around and compare. Well, that person's already doing readings. Well, that person's already doing readings. What do I bring to it? You know, how am I going to build my business? Believe me, you will. Nobody else does readings like you. Nobody else does readings like you. You bring you to the table, and your gifts are your gifts, and you'll deliver it in your way. And your clients, your soulmate clients, will be able to connect with you in a way that no one else can. And you'll feel it and you'll love it. And it's so worth it. It's worth it for you, and it's worth it for your clients, your potential clients that are out there just waiting for you to open for business. So I encourage you, light workers, if you're feeling the call and you know that you're ready, but you're just kind of holding back for either a little doubt or maybe money beliefs, or somebody told you you have to get certified, you have to get this much training, or you have to do this many hours of practice sessions, but you know you're ready. You know, don't listen to that. Don't let the world tell you who you are and what you're capable of. We are now coming into an empowerment age where we see through the bullshit. We see through that the world does not set the requirements for us anymore. Isn't that freeing? And so you get to choose this, and we need you. Giving is good, but protect your energy. Absolutely, yeah. I've been using my spiritual abilities for 30 years and been doing spiritual work with others for 18. Perfect. So you're well into this business, and that's awesome, because I think this is just beginning to be something that people are needing. Like this, we're just at the new beginning of a new wave of this. So it's so exciting. Okay. Jennifer says, I do that in general, give. I know, right? That's so common. It's so common for empaths. It's so common for women, you know, because we're encouraged as women, as moms, to just give everything we've got and keep everyone else's priorities as the top, or everyone else's needs as the priority, and we're on the back burner. How common is that? So it's just a cultural reprogramming, that's all. Because if we're not replenished, then we're definitely not the best mom. We're definitely not the best friend. We're definitely not the best partner. And we're certainly not the best reader that we could be, or healer, because when we're depleted, our connection with spirit is vague and it's weaker. And so, yeah, so and our life isn't as fulfilling. And that's not to say drop everybody else and it's just about us. It's just to say our energy is important. Our energy is very important, and only we can charge ourselves. We can't look to other people to charge us up. We can't look for other people to fill our cup. We can't. It has to be us. I don't mind people charging. What bothers me is the ones who charge really expensive prices and then don't even give the person the reading they deserve. Yeah, there's all sorts of, there's always the good side and the bad side, right? There's always the either the bad apples who are charging and not giving any reading. I've had that happen in my Facebook group, my private group, where someone came into the group and was offering to give a healing or a reading and demanded money and didn't give anything, or gave something very not cool. Like so there are some scams out there, like in any industry, there's the scams. And then there's sometimes, when people don't get the reading they deserve, or there's a problem with the reading, I'm going to hope that it's just an honest disconnection between reader and sitter, and either it needs to be rescheduled, or maybe the reader needs to go back and do their spiritual practices, recenter, reground, and try again. There's some sort of like energetic misalignment. But I'm sure there are some who are just looking to make money, and they're not giving a true honest to God reading. They're just doing what they think sounds like a reading just to make money. I don't know, it's a shame. That's where karma comes into play. That's where I say, if your intentions are not pure, you're going to bring that to you. You're going to bring that karma to you. So, be mindful of that. And that's, the overcharging with the spiritual and the coaching. I'm a coach also. I'm a spiritual life and business coach. So, or I should say spiritual, intuitive, I would say is a better word. And people overcharge in that industry too. And it's a shame that it becomes a money game, and it becomes, people are programmed to think they have to have this income. They have to do this. They're trying to chase something. That's more shadow work to do. I knew a guy that was charging $200 for 30-minute reading, and he was only giving people maybe a 10 to 15-minute reading. Man, that sucks. Karma gets these people. Yeah, that stinks. I mean, why would you charging $200 for a 30-minute reading and then giving a 10 to 15-minute reading? That's just really bad, and that will catch up. You cannot be a deceitful person and not lose your shit at some point. Your energetic field is going to break down. I mean, it's just going to happen. Not to mention, people will catch on and start to give you the testimonials that are, your bad testimonials, and spread the word too, because, that's not cool. Following you now. Oh, thanks, Brittany. That's awesome. I love to connect with other readers and healers. So I'm super cool. Thank you. Looking forward to connecting with you as well. So yeah, so that's tough. That is tough. In fact, for me, I probably over talk. I have to watch the time when I do readings, because I will often talk over time. I have to watch that, because I love it, and I'm in the zone. It's just like, keep going and going. But, unfortunately, yes, there are some who are a bit on the shadier side, and I'll let spirit reveal them. And yeah, so, but anyways, that's all I have to say on that. If you have any questions, let me know. If you're a light worker that needs help launching or getting started, or getting that confidence to get started in your business, and what to charge, how to know what to charge, all of that, just message me, connect with me. That's what I love to do. We need you. The world is needing those beautiful gifts to be out there in whatever capacity you want. But we need you right now. And same here, I get in the zone and it flows. I love the zone. Yes, it does. It just keeps going. I like my live stream right now. I could say, I'm just going to be on here for a few minutes and then keep going. So anyways, jenrapinion.com. I have a free program called the Empath Evolution Experience. It's, I think, a 5 or 7 day program on how to really just claim your power as an empath, and to recognize some of the things that might get in your way and how to get past them. Very cool. And anything else, if you want to work with me, read with me, get a healing session, anything like that, you just message me, or go to jenrapinion.com/book. You can see all the choices there. But other than that, have an amazing Monday, powerful Monday. What are you manifesting today? It's Manifestation Monday. And I will see you on the next video.